What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I want to go over two slightly annoying issues with the Toyota GR86. This might be similar with the Subaru BRZ, not sure if it pertains to the FRS or not, but for the 86 and the BRZ, these are two things that are honestly kind of annoying. Hopefully they're going to be easy fixes. I've been doing a lot of research to see how to do that. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the seatbelt chime and just the chime in this car in general. As you can tell, I'm parked in my driveway right now. I don't have my seatbelt on. Let's start up the car. You can already hear, hopefully you can hear it over the exhaust, but we had the chime there that went away. Now, I'm starting to roll a little bit, still within my driveway here. And if I start to put it into gear, I'm just going to stay in the cul-de-sac. And let's face it, when you are in your neighborhood, a lot of people, there we go. I didn't even really start to move. Barely got out of the driveway. And the one annoying thing with this chime is that it gets louder. There we go. Listen to how loud that chime is. Now, obviously the chime is there to remind you, hey, you need to put on your seatbelt. But in certain situations like this, even putting it into reverse, in my Tacoma, when you put it into reverse, it would stop chiming because it knew that you were stopped. Even stopped, I can't fix it. I'm stopped. Not even putting it into any gear is going to stop it. The only way to stop it is to put your seatbelt on. Now, again, that's a safety feature, so you don't just drive off and you don't wear your seatbelt, of course. But let's just say I want to go check the mail, or even just pull back into my driveway. So, as we go around this circle again, let's get within 15 feet of my driveway. So if you want to unbuckle before, you have to get your hands full, right as I undo it, it's going to start beeping at me. Well, that time it went away in reverse. Okay, that's interesting. I haven't had it do that before. So it went away that time in reverse. But nevertheless, it is something that is a bit annoying, especially that chime. It's not something that you can go in and configure and shut off until now. So I'm going to test this out. We'll just pretend like I exited and got back in here. What I have found, I'm going to set a 30-second timer. And what I have found is I'm going to try to buckle my seat as many times as I can in 30 seconds. I believe I'm going to try to get to 20 and we'll see if that works. If it doesn't, well, then I don't know. So I'm going to hit the timer in 30 seconds. Let's see what happens. Well, let's see if you guys can see my seatbelt first. There we go. And before I start, I'm going to double tap on the engine start button just to get all of the electronics on without starting the vehicle. And then in 30 seconds, here we go. $18, 19, 20. So I did 20 and 20 seconds there. So let's stop our timer. Let's see if that worked. Maybe. So it's still beeping like it would normally for its startup. And let's do another exit out of the driveway. Still in the cul-de-sac here. I'm pretty hopeful. We're gonna go check the mail. Okay. Well, that is pretty cool. I don't know if doing that again will put it back to normal so that you can get the chime back. But I'm in third gear right now, still on, private property. And there's no chime. That's exciting. That is really exciting to see. Now, obviously I don't condone taking your seatbelt off on public roads. You know, it's there for a reason, for safety. But a lot of times people get into their neighborhood, you get into your driveway. I move cars a lot in my driveway. So to have to put on my seatbelt to move it 3 or 4 feet, whatever it is that I'm doing, you know, positioning them, doing mods, things like that, just getting them out of the way, it can be a little bit of an extra step that's kind of annoying when you're not really in a situation where you need it, in the driveway, in the neighborhood, things like that. So if you want to get rid of that chime for your GR86, your BRZ possibly, try that method and see how well that works. That is very cool to see. And that was an easy solution to fix it. Now, let's move on to our second issue. I did these in order. That one was the most annoying. This one, not so much. But you will only notice this change while you're actually driving the vehicle. And that is the fact that the GR86 does have piped in exhaust noise or noises that you can hear. Now, honestly, I will say, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that until after I threw on an aftermarket exhaust. So I'm going to try to do my best to hear that. I'll show you how to disconnect it, but I'm going to try to do my best to see if there is a difference even with an aftermarket exhaust, because this is a pretty loud exhaust system. But let's give it an acceleration. And I will do my best to memorize what that sounds like. I've been driving this car for a good bit with the exhaust system. I recently installed it though, but I'm going to do my best to remember what that sounds like in order to see if there is a difference, because I didn't get a chance to do it with the stock exhaust on the car. But I didn't even know that was a thing, just because the car's not all that loud in the stock configuration. So I didn't even notice that there was some exhaust noises pumped in. And so to move on to disconnecting the fake sound, you have to come over to the passenger side where there's this trim panel right here. It's sandwiched in between the door and the dash console. Now there is a spot up underneath where you could maybe fit a flathead if you wanted to. I have a trim removal tool that's actually the same width. So if I just put it in that hole right there, I can start to pull this trim piece outwards, and it's really not all that hard. It's just a couple pieces and you can pop that right out. Now, right on the back side of this piece right here, there is a module. It's the one that I can just get my fingers to touch right there. There is supposed to be a plug there in order to hear that fake exhaust noise. But check this out. Previous owner already did this mod. They already disconnected this piece, which is why I never heard or thought that this car had that piped in noise. So somebody already went ahead and did that. But for today's video, I am going to plug it back in. That way I can try to tell if there's a difference with the aftermarket exhaust. But that is the plug that you would unplug. And I'm going to see real quick how to plug it back in, so that way I can show you how to unplug it. And with it plugged back in, it actually goes in this direction. So it's parallel with the car. That's how it is installed. And then there's a clip right here on this side, and you can just pop it out with one hand. So I'm going to plug it back in real quick, and then let's get on the road. Well, that is just too funny, guys. So I didn't even know that it was like that. But with my exhaust, let's see if I can try to hear something. If I'm gonna be able to hear it. The aftermarket exhaust is definitely throwing that for a loop. So sorry that I didn't figure that out with the stock exhaust. I don't think I'm gonna hear anything with it plugged in. You know, maybe it is a little bit different. Is so hard to tell. But if you have a GR86, you have a BRZ, and you can kind of hear some of that exhaust, that is how you can unplug it if you would like to. It's super easy to put back in. So I'm not sure why the previous owner didn't plug it back in for, you know, the resale purposes, but I can't tell a difference. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Two kind of annoying and semi-annoying things with the 86 BRZ. The seatbelt chime by far is the biggest thing I wanted to point out, and such an easy solution in order to fix that. Fake exhaust noise, even with an aftermarket exhaust, it doesn't really seem to be affected much. So that's kind of just based on you, I guess, if you like it or don't like it. But that is just as easy too. You can do these in a matter of minutes, really, for both of them. But I hope you enjoyed today's video for this 86. If you did, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads, as well as all the modifications that I have done on this exact car. All those videos are on our website too, along with all the parts. And I will see you all in the next video.